Brian Claypool, criminal defense attorney. You already heard the people who live in that home say there is absolutely nothing to see. The investigators took out walls. They took out the carpet. They took out even the faucets. What does it indicate about her strategy that she wants her private eye to go to this crime scene?
Well, Jane, remember, this is a death penalty case, and Jodi Arias is going to do anything possible to try to save her life. So I don't think this is manipulation. I think this is a desperate woman who's trying to come up with a plan. And here's her plan. She's going to hire an investigator to go over there, and he's going to take some kind of measurements, maybe in the bathroom, who knows where. But he's going to try to come up and concoct some theory that maybe she was responding to a traumatic event, that he attacked her first. And wait, let me finish, because I think you're right. What she's going to do, and if I was representing her, I would try to
Jane,
retry.
I disagree with Brian.
Okay.
Well, let me finish, though.
Okay, you finish quickly, and
let
then
me
we're
ask you this.
Okay.
Yeah. How can you separate in a death penalty case what led up to the murder and to determine whether she should die? You can't separate those two in this case because you have a brand new jury. So she's got to retry the facts that led up to the murder to put her mental health and her diminished capacity at issue.
Well, first, let me say one thing. You don't need to go back to the house to find out how far it is from the toilet to the bedroom. There's something called a schematic. Every house has one. If you've ever done a remodel, which I've done too many of in my life, there's floor plans. You don't need to go back into the house. It's nonsense. Reva Martin, take it away.
Is so sick and warped. She wants to go back to that house to relive what she did.
I couldn't agree with you more, and here's my concern. Jodi took what it was essentially a kinky S&M relationship, at least based on her claims and the phone sex tape that she willingly had with Travis, that was totally invited behavior on her part, and she tried to turn it into domestic abuse, insulting all genuine survivors of domestic abuse. You remember the extremely graphic sex tape that was played in open court and was heard around the world.
You know what I really liked was when we were in the bath with the candles and I had the braid.
Oh, I love the braids.
I know, they're hot.
I'm going to tie you to a tree and put it in your by the way.
Oh my gosh. That is so debasing. I like it.
Brian Claypool, criminal defense attorney. You raise a very important point. What evidence will be admissible? This whole retrial is a giant question mark. Everybody seems to think that Jodi's going to take this ball and run with it and try to retry the whole case and basically drag Travis through the mud again, accuse him of being an abuser and all that. And that's Travis Alexander's family there crying hysterically as they were forced to listen to Jodi basically malign his character and throw him under the bus in every way possible. Is she going to be able to do that again?
Jane, there is a great grounds for appeal if the judge in this case does not allow some evidence of what led up to the murder into the death penalty phase. And I'll tell you why. There is a possibility that there are some jurors out there that in the death penalty phase who have no clue what went down with Jodi Arias and Travis Alexander. If I'm Arias's lawyer, I'm in there arguing pre-trial, Judge, I need to talk about my mental health leading up to the murder. I need to talk about alleged domestic abuse leading up to the murder so that I can explain to this jury that I am not that wanton murderer that everybody's portraying me to be, and I should have a second chance at life.
Look,
you can't separate the two.
Reva, I'd also like to point out, and I'll get Brian Claypool, criminal defense attorney, this is the first page of the pathology report. It was done the very night of his death, March 3rd, 2014. It's now September 1st. Why was this withheld? Why was this withheld? That, in fact, contrary to what the cop said, that he was shot in the back, which would make more sense if they're claiming, oh, he was cuffed and he grabbed a gun out of nowhere. This report shows that he was shot in the chest.
Well, Jane, first of all, this is an ongoing criminal investigation. It's not concluded yet. So if there was a question, let's play Jeopardy for a second. If there was a question, a category on Jeopardy, civil rights, and the question was, describe the investigations of Michael Brown and Victor White, my answer would be, what is rush to judgment? We have to stop jumping to conclusions based on piecemeal information. Let me tell you two critical facts that came out of that first page of the autopsy report that suggest this was either a suicide or an accident, and it was self-inflicted. Two things. First of all, there was soot on Victor White's body. That means that's a black powder. It's a black powdery substance. That means the shooting distance, Jane, could have been as close as 6 inches. It could have been maybe a foot. But another important fact is this. The trajectory, that bullet you have on your screen, the bullet entry, goes upward. It goes upward. That means if an officer shot Victor White and he's sitting in a police car, that officer would either have to be lying on his stomach or on his knees to match up the trajectory of the bullet going upward.
You're talking about trajectories. I want to just jump in because this is a conversation that the three of us are having, but okay. Here, let's take a look. There's handcuffs, right? I've got handcuffs, okay? I'm going to shoot myself in the chest? I don't think it's possible. I've been trying all day.
Jane,
am I going to be
Jane, not only is it not possible.
I mean, just do it.
How loose the handcuffs were.
Oh,
God, sorry.
Jane,
I'm sorry.